I just have to, okay. So I will reconnect what Javier was explaining before about the importance of using the powder additives in the feed industry. So what is the scope of these micro additives when you're using in the feed industry? So for sure, one is the nutritional aspect of this product for improving the overall feed quality. Medicine used for healing and promoting the animal health, antibiotic, crucidostats, antiparasites, and so on. Palatability enhancement to ensure better consumption. So you want the feed to be eaten for increasing the intake. Technical improvements used mainly for production efficiency. So all these type of additives are generally expensive and very important to be used and handled in the correct way. So commonly these minor ingredients are added in the mixer manually, creating a lot of mistakes, creating a lot of labor, creating a lot of issues at the end of the production. So what is the importance of a correct application? You can have by using a correct technology, increasing your dosing accuracy, having a better traceability. So you want to be able to track down in a database exactly what you have been dosing in your feed. Labor, so your people, your workers can focus, the operators can focus on more important roles in the plant instead of needed to dose manually these additives and run up and down to the mixer to discharge these products in the mixer. Cross-contamination, so having a good system, design system that can handle these additives can reduce the cross-contamination if you are running multi-species, if you're using a lot of medicine and antibiotics in the feed. Production increases, so you can have speed up production capacity, increase quality, and all these aspects are at the end based on saving costs. So you're selling your feed, and your importance is to have a good return. So what you want to, if you your intention is to build, implement your production line with this micro dosing system, what information you have to provide to your supplier? For sure is the batch mixer information, so size, type, number of batches per hour, so on. What is the products? What are these additives that you are using? So number of ingredients, type of ingredients, the density, and all general technical specification of these additives. What are the dosing quantities, minimum and maximum of individual dosing of this product, and what would be the total batch that you need to dose of these minor ingredients. Even sometimes it's important, especially when there are many different type of ingredients, having a formulation, so some general formulations to know and how to sequence these additives and how to divide them in a different station or microdosing system. And the layout of the plant, so what is the available space, what are the distance from the storing place of the microdosing application to the batch mixer. Is it, don't know where I have to point it to, but it's not changing anymore. No. It's blocked, the presentation, maybe. Okay. Okay. So installation site. So you have to find a place where to put your equipment. This should be easy accessible with the forklift to bring the additives, the bags, the pallets all containing these products, the big bags, and so on. Storage, so you have to have nearby a suitable storage place where to put the products. for easy logistics, similar what you could see in a situation like here. Transportation of these additives, so convenient would be a pneumatical conveyor. You have to consider the limitation of a pneumatical conveyor in height, distance. So you cannot have a microdosing station very far away from your batch mixer. So generally, the best position would be having this microdosing on a floor, on the ground floor, not so far from the batch mixer, 30, 40 meters away, and then convey your product with the vacuum system. This is a typical layout of the microdosing system that we are making, we produce. A carousel system that can handle up to 12 ingredients in a very small footprint, about 2 meters by 2. Dosing and then pneumatically conveying to the batch mixer. So a typical machine should be compact, easy to find place in your facility, especially if it's an existing plant. Accurate and reliable, so fast to produce. Conveying by pneumatical, easy to maintain and also easy to clean. This is a picture of our dosing station. All the contact parts are in stainless steel. So yes, it's not a cheap solution, but it's a machine that will last forever, basically. So the design also of the walls internally to the bins, rounded bins, easy flowability of the products. Moisture could be an issue sometimes, many times, let's say, with these additives. So you have to consider using a suitable equipment that can handle these products. Dosing is done by screw feeders with the easy, let's say, it has less issue handling products that can have lamps. Shutting valve on the output of the screw feeder. Dosing scale should be accurate, using good load cell, obviously, and should be designed for what you need to dose. So it shouldn't be a massive scale for dosing micro elements. And obviously the pneumatical conveyor, where there are different technology, pressure, dense phase, and so on. We, if possible, depending on the production and the distance, we always recommend to use a vacuum system. Okay, microdosing screw. There are different additives, granulometry, density. There are different type of screws to handle the different product, depending also on the accuracy that is required. We can go from a standard shaft to open shaft, bare shaft without reducing lamps and so on. Different type of spirals up to the twin screw feeders. So there are many ingredients to be used. One station could not be enough. What you do is combine different dosing stations in the same line. You can have ingredients in big bags. We would also suggest to have some product used as a carrier that are also able to flush the pneumatical line to have a better clean and reduce contamination. In the same position, we can also add some manual addition. So why? Because there are so many ingredients. Some ingredients are only used once a month or even less, season additives. So you cannot dedicate a dosing station there. You can have a manual addition directly on the ground floor and then convey it to the batch mixer. Obviously, this would integrate with the SCADA, with barcode, or many other different technologies in order to have a good traceability of the additives that they are handled manually. Automation, very important also here. Each ingredient should have its own parameter for the speed, velocity, flowing. Loading of the bins should also be managed in a way that you can keep track of what have you been adding, and also especially not to have a mistake of adding the products in a different bin. Individual password for accessing the various parameters of the line. They should be obviously accessed only by who can do that. Reports, traceability, and database of all the dosing of each batch. And obviously a communication. So communication protocol, easy to integrate with your main SCADA, communicating with any kind of type of PLC that you have. This should be, try not to make you work too much on your side. We are generally trying to do all the bad job, trying to have a good communication depending on what system you have on your side. Okay, this is a new system that we put in the line. We call it the vertical micro pneuma. Basically, is a vertical mixer, small mixer, that is mixing while we are conveying the product. So this is connected to the pneumatic line. Here we would have the exhaust of the air with the filtration. And here we would have the input of the micro elements that are coming from the pneumatic line. So while this is conveying, transporting the products into the batch mixer, we have a mixing, and then this would discharge in your main batch mixer. So this is only like a small premix of your micro elements. Obviously, you can do it with a second batch mixer, standard mixer in between. This would increase your height. And this would also increase your time. This is doing it actually while it's conveying. Improving, at the end, everything is dedicated for improving the homogeneity. You cannot think that adding 100 grams per ton of additive in a batch mixer of 6 tons you are able to have a good homogeneity. I think anybody couldn't think about that. Okay, PLP, we focus a lot on R&D. We specialize on finding solutions for customers. We don't make standard machines. That's why we are always trying to find new ways to add these products. We have the PSPA, so post-stress powder application. This is a concept. Basically, what we are doing is adding powder after cooling, so after on the pellets. So this is very useful for many reasons. One is a cross-contamination, because you have a finished product dedicated going to a bin or directly into your bulk or bagging line, and there we can add some of these medicines. Also, we avoid stress, heat stress, due to the temperature that can be reached during pelletizing. Yeah, finished now. This is actually probably the last one. So the other point where the other technology that we apply in the feed industry for the micro elements, for the additives, is this mass bean coater. This is a machine that can weigh and add coating or mixing products, additives, both in liquid and in powder form. We are applying this mass bean coater just before the pelleting machine. So when you are running a multi-species feed plant and you are having some antibiotics, for example, if you are adding these antibiotics in the batch mixer, you will contaminate the entire line. If you have free pelleting machine, all free pelleting machine can have contamination. In this way, adding these additives just before the pelleting machine, you reduce the contamination only on that type of line. And it's also increasing the accuracy. So this is a inline addition into the mash feed before pelletizing of the microelements. Okay, this is finished. For any more information, we are also on the other side, stand 2821. Thank you.